to react to some of the top soccer headlines going on in the soccer world. And we have to start off with some news that broke earlier today. Griezmann, he has retired from international football. He's retiring from international football after a decade with the French national team. You know, this was Griezmann player. He was, a huge part of France's success in the Didier Deschamps era up to this point. You go back in the 2014 World Cup. That was his breakthrough tournament for the French national team. His importance really rose up early on whenever Frank Ribery announced that he will not be participating in the 2014 World Cup. His importance, became even bigger. Didn't have the biggest impact into that team, but he had a solid tournament. I believe he had a goal against Nigeria in the quarterfinal. Solid tournament then, and then he really broke through being an important part of the French national team, going back in the 2016 European Championships. He was a huge part of that 2016 European Championships. He was the talisman of that 2016 European Championship team for France. He got the go-ahead goal in the second group stage game against Albania. He scored the 2 goals to see them past Ireland after they went down 1-0 against Ireland. He scored the 2 second-half goals to get them past Ireland. He also went on to score goals in the quarterfinals. That was in the round of 16 against Ireland. He also went on to score goals in the quarterfinals against Iceland, and in the semifinal he scored a brace in that semifinal against Germany. And he was an integral part in that European Championship team that reached the final. They went on and lost to Portugal, but in that knockout stage game, he scored 4 goals. He scored 5. So he scored 2 against Ireland. He scored 2 against Ireland, 1 against Iceland, and then 2 in the semifinal. So he scored 5 goals. He scored 5 goals in those 3 knockout stage games to the final. He also had a goal in the group stages as well. He was such an important part. He was the talisman of that team. 2 years later, you had the wonder boy, the young talent in Mbappe that came up. But he was still an integral part of that team. Antoine Griezmann was in 2018. And, he had the goals. He had important goals in that campaign. The final, he scored. He was the one that scored the penalty to give them the lead. When after the equalizer from Ivan Perisic. He scored a goal against Uruguay as well in the round of 16. Scored a penalty as well against Argentina. Huge part of that 2018 team that won the World Cup. And then the 2022 World Cup team in the final. He was a key part of that team, playing a little bit of a different role, having to play a little bit more deeper, having to do a little bit more work to make up for the loss of N'Golo Kante and the workload he had in midfield. Did a little bit of the dirty work in midfield that Griezmann did, in that campaign. Did a lot of the defensive work for them as well. Became a little bit more of a playmaker. Showed his creativity. You remember that wonderful cross he put in for that Giroud goal to give them the win against England. Showed his ability in more than just being that sort of being someone that plays off of a Giroud, being an important part of the front three. Showed a little bit of a different element to him. And, his adaptability and his flexibility and the work rate that he provided for a team, making up for some of the walking that other players did in that team. I'm talking about Mbappe. It's just, he was a huge part. He'll go down as, in my opinion, one of the best French national team players of all time. And that's a hard list to be on, because you're talking about the likes of Thierry Henry, Zinedine Zidane, Michel Platini. There's been some greats. I think he's done enough in these last 10 years to be a part of that greatness. Just an amazing, amazing, amazing player, a legend for French football. And I know they don't really do this in the footballing world. This is an American sport tradition. But if there was a jersey retirement per se for international football, well, Griezmann's French national team jersey would definitely be retired. No doubts about that. And yeah, when he was with the statement, he said, "It is with a heart full of memories that I close the chapter of my life. Thank you for this magnificent tricolor adventure, and see you soon. Today, with profound emotion, I announce my retirement as a French national team player. After 10 incredible years marked by challenges, success, and unforgettable moments, it's time for me to turn the page and make room for the new generation. Wearing this shirt has been an honor and a privilege. I leave the France national team with a sense of pride and gratitude. I had the honor of representing our country and the chance to experience extraordinary moments like becoming a world champion. I'll continue to follow Le Bleu with passion. I'm convinced that the future is bright, and I can't wait to see the next generation shine." Griezmann, he made his debut to March 2014, shortly before the 2014 World Cup, when they took on the Netherlands in a friendly. He's been managed by Didier Deschamps at France for his entire career. Yeah, he played 137 games. He scored 44 goals. Yeah, he's a brilliant player, and I hope it's a player that I don't know how the news has been taken in the French world, but I hope it's a player that's really getting his praise and adulation, because he's been great. Javier Aguirre, he has recalled Ochoa and Raul Jimenez to return to the Mexican national team for friendlies when they actually take on Valencia on October 12th, which is weird as hell. I do have to say, I'm not a fan of national teams taking on club teams for friendlies. I think that's pretty weird. I do have to say, I don't respect that at all. I think it's very, very weird. But yeah, they take on Valencia on October 12th, and the U.S. men's national team on 15. That's Mauricio Pochettino, one of his 2 debut games. But yeah, he's back. They're gonna be back. No, Andres Guadrado, he's also in the squad as well. He's also involved into the team. No Irving Lozano, he's not involved into this team. But yeah, I like to see how they look under Javier Aguirre, this Mexican national team. They're on the clock to get ready for the 2026 World Cup. Ronaldo, Sadio Mane, they led Al Nassr to win their first AFC Champions League game. Ronaldo scored the winning goal when Al Nassr defeated Al Rayyan, the Qatari team, 2-1 in the AFC Champions League group stages. Group stage game. Flick, he's teasing Chesney's deal. He said he already spoken with Chesney after the since we know that he's arrived in Barcelona to complete the move. So that is happening. We'll see if he gets that number 1 spot. We'll see. But yeah, that's about it. I do have to say, it's been a really interesting show. Thank you guys, though, for tuning into the GSMC Soccer Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. So thank you once again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Let's go.